There's a lot of people and a lot of lessons that were learned or taught by Charlie Munger. Unfortunately, he passed yesterday. But in this show, I wanted to talk about about nine of the one's lessons that he imparted that I thought were really, really good. So in tonight's show, we're definitely talking about Charlie Munger's, I would say, top nine or essential nine less financial lessons that everybody can learn from. All right, what's up, everybody? Kamari Ellis here. Welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. I'm Kamari Ellis, the Finance Rebel, and every Wednesday around 8 o'clock-ish, I'm a little late dealing with client stuff, but every Wednesday we talk about money stuff, right? The whole goal, the whole idea of the Finance Rebel Show is to help you, more people, the listening audience, to be a bit more financially wise, right? To raise your overall financial IQ. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. Like I just said, we're going to talk about Charlie Munger, but I've been getting some more requests, a lot more requests, and I'm going to try to do a better job of reviewing them, right? So there's a lot of clips on the social medias, the YouTubes, the Twitters, the TikToks, the Facebooks, saying and espousing certain things that confuse a lot of people. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about Charlie Munger. We're going to talk about a clip that I saw from the guy Rich Dad Poor Dad, all right, and his tax advice. And so we'll break that down. And I also want to talk about some new accomplishments that I've done. I haven't talked about it for a while. Got them earlier on in the month, and I wanted to share them all with you tonight. So again, stay tuned for the Finance Row Show. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. And as always, on Wealthy Wednesdays, feel free to submit your financial questions, right? We'll talk about all things money, stocks, bonds, business, economics, anything that you want to talk about money-wise, go ahead and throw it in the chat, and I will answer your question. By the way, if you don't get a chance to catch the chat live or the stream live, go ahead and throw a question into the chat anyway. Just type replay and throw your question in there, and I'll be making sure to get to those, either by commenting to the comments, or I will do an individual video for them. All right. So again, welcome everybody. Got to sound of horns for myself, but again, Charlie Munger has passed, so I definitely want to talk about that. Everybody knows Charlie from being Warren Buffett's AKA sidekick, and actually, I don't even think that's a fair depiction of him as being a sidekick. He's definitely not Robin to Warren Buffett's Batman, right? He's definitely a man, or was a man, who could stand on his own and did stand on his own, and figured that by working with Warren, he can make more money and help Warren make more money too. And together they've worked on Berkshire Hathaway for many, many years. So there's a couple of things I want to pull up here in just a second and go over this. But before we get to that, I want to go over this clip that I was sent about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Let me just find it real quick. Now, I usually don't like to talk about him for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to find one of them real quick, because I used to be a fan of his. I am no longer a fan of his for many reasons, and I will share that with you as well. I mean, if y'all rock with me, y'all probably already know. I already know, but give me 1 second. Let me find this. Let me find this real quick. And if you're just new here, you're just jumping in the chat, make sure you jump in, say what's up, let me know where you're hailing from, and let's get at it. Let's get at it. Man, I can't find this. I was looking for this one article. I'll bring it back up. I'll get to it. I will get to it. But good evening, everybody. Glad to see everybody here. And I am going to share this with you all, this stream. So let's get at this.
The poor don't understand is the number one expense for most people is taxes.
Well, the reason the rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets.
Interesting. So listen, if you don't know who Rich Dad is, Robert Kiyosaki, you've been living under a rock for the last 20 years. He is the author of a best-selling book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm going to reserve a lot of my comment about his commentary and his overall well-being to the end. But I want to go through his points piece by piece. There's some good stuff in there, and there's some trash stuff there. But let's go over it again.
The other thing the poor don't understand is the number one expense for most people is taxes.
So that is true. The number one expense for people is tax over the long haul. All right, that is true.
Well, the reason.
And let me break it down, right? So when you look at taxes in general, right? Your federal, your state. If you're like me, I'm from the city of Philadelphia, right? We have a municipality tax or a city wage tax or a city income tax, right? That's another tax people have to add on. Then if you look at all the other taxes you might have to pay, we pay a lot of taxes, and it can be really sad for a lot of us, right? But the highest tax rate in the land with the IRS or federally is 37%. In my state of PA, it is your tax 3.06, 3.07%. If you work in the city of Philadelphia, you're paying about 3.5%, right? Right there alone and this is the top rate. Everybody isn't at the top rate, just to be clear. But at that rate, that's over 40% in taxes if you're the highest rate. And I'll do another show breaking that down, but I don't want to get too lost in the weeds today.
The rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive.
Now, I want y'all to be clear here, and I want y'all to pay attention, right? Those are his definitions of monies earned, so forth and so on. That is not the IRS. That is not how the IRS looks at income. So just be clear.
So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor.
That is true. You get a job, you get a W-2, you work a 9 to 5. That is earned income. That is totally true.
Or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income.
There is no such thing as portfolio income in the IRS tax code. Just want y'all to be clear.
Capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So these guys are.
So, point in case, passive income is never taxed. That's what he's saying. That's what he puts out. I probably should do a totally separate video on this. The algorithms might like it a little bit better, especially if I put his name in the title. But we are here. All right, I've seen a couple people come in. What's up, everybody? Hey, Yvette, how are you? Welcome. Oh, that's Yvette from high school. Hey, lady, how you doing? PSS Gurus. Hey, welcome. TB's in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing? I hope everybody's holiday was good. All right, so getting back to this.
Premium right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets.
That's that could be debated.
Assets.
The other thing the
Rich-
poor don't understand
The rich create their own jobs, but they have a job.
is the number one expense for most people is taxes.
Well, the reason
All right, so I want to show y'all one thing, right? The reason why I say this. I'm a tax accountant. This is the stuff I do every day, all day, right? So when we talk about taxes, it's law. It's governed by law, not by somebody's snazzy, fancy terminology that has helped them sell millions and millions and millions of books. But when you sit in front of a tax auditor with the IRS, they don't care about none of that. Not none of it, not a near bit of it. All right, so I want to show y'all what's called Title 26. Title 26 of the IRS code defines what income is. All right. So I'm going to pull this up on the screen right now. And again, I don't really care about him per se. The problem is people see this stuff and they think it's gospel. And the thing about taxes is there's a lot of black and white and there's a lot of gray. And the question is, do you understand how to navigate the gray? All right. So here, Title 26 or Title 26 U.S. Code, right? Section 61, gross income defined. All right. We are on Cornell's law. Let me back up. Cornell's law school, right? They do a great job of housing the U.S. tax code. And when you look right here, it says U.S. Code, Title 26, Subtitle A, Chapter 1, Subchapter 8. This stuff gets deep. And hopefully I won't be boring any of you. All right. But where it says is general definition. Let me blow this up a little bit for y'all, because I ain't got on my glasses. So I'm thinking I can't see it. If I can't see it, y'all probably can't see it. Let me know if y'all can see the screen clearly though. All right. So general definition. Except as otherwise provided in this subtitle, gross income means all income from whatever source derived, including, but not limited to, the following items. Now, mind you might be thinking, well, Kamari, what does the tax code have to do with anything? Well, the tax code is the Bible, right, for the IRS. And the IRS is the enforcing body for taxes in the United States, or the main enforcing body, especially of income tax in the United States. All right. So that was the definition. Part 1, compensation for services. Again, these are forms of income. Compensation for services, including fees, commissions, fringe benefits, and similar items. 1, 2, gross income derived from business. All right. 3, gains derived from dealing in property. You notice how they're talking about property. They're very specific. What is property? Well, you can have personal property and you can have business property, right? Your home is property. Guess what? Your shoes can be property too, right? They can be personal effects. But if you are in the business of selling shoes, it's income. When you go back up to that part 2 where it says gross income derived from business, that's very clear. Very, very clear. All right, Larry said he can see me. Perfect. Welcome, Larry. How you doing, sir? Gotta get it on. All right. Number 4, interest. So interest is a form of income. Rents. Now, I want y'all to put an asterisk around that. Rents. Rich Dad or Robert Kiyosaki always talks about real estate. Y'all just watched that video. In that video, he said that passive income, a lot of people consider rental income as passive income, but it's not taxable. The people don't pay tax on it. So keep that in mind, y'all. Royalties. Royalties are things that usually come from books, songs. Maybe you wrote a song or did some other intellectual property. You're getting paid off of intellectual property. All right. Dividends. Dividends are usually payments from the profit of a company that you own stock in. So y'all know I love to talk about the stocks here. I'm a big fan of the stocks. By the way, did anybody watch that bond video I dropped a couple weeks ago? If not, bonds have been making money. And if you didn't watch it or shared it with somebody, y'all cheated them. Or y'all missed out on some money. All right. Dividends, number 7. Number 8 is annuities. All right. So annuities, income from life insurance and endowment contracts. Now, there are a lot of people that will tell you or sell you a life insurance policy and say, oh, the income is tax-free. Sometimes it is, or the death benefit is tax-free. Most times it is. There are rare occasions when it cannot be tax-free. So again, you have to be careful and you need to understand these things. Number 10, pensions. So if you are planning on retiring anytime soon, work at a company where they put money away from you, then they're going to give you a check every week, every month for the rest of your life. That is a pension that is taxable. All right. Income from discharges of indebtedness. That's a good one because all the social media gurus and scammers love to talk about this in the 1099A that people get to submit or fill out and make it income tax free. Know that that's bullshit. Just put it simple, y'all. Also, I'm tired, so my mental capacity to come up with fancy words is very limited today. All right, so that one is another one, right? Remember, taxes technically are all about law. You have to follow the law to understand taxes. A lot of these people on social media are not following the law. U.S. tax code is law. It's not a hobby. It's not a game. It's not graffiti. It's not some scribble that people just come up with. It's law. All right. Number 12, distributive share of partnership gross income. Partnerships, right? He's kind of talking about that a little bit. He was alluding to it. That can be taxable as well. Hold on. Oop, I went too fast. Income and respect of a decedent, that deals with when someone has died and they're still generating income. A lot of times it has to be reported. So keep that in mind. All right. Number 14, income from interest in an estate or trust. Everybody keeps asking me about should they get a goddamn trust. For 99.99% of y'all, it's hell no. And I'm going to tell y'all why in 1 second. Actually, a family member asked me that over the weekend when I was at a 50th birthday party. One of the main reasons most people on social media do not need to worry about a trust is because 1, you don't make enough money for it. 2, a lot of times when you get a trust and you want to put your home in it, whether it's a revocable trust or irrevocable trust or living trust, whatever trust, you might lose the ability to get certain benefits from the government as it relates to taxes. In Philadelphia, they have what's called the Homestead Act. Now, in Philadelphia, they have been raising tax rates like crazy. For some of our seniors, a lot of our seniors, they can't afford it. Some of them, however, can apply for what's called the Homestead Act. However, if your property is not owned, again, if your property is not owned by an individual that actually lives in the property, you potentially lose any of those benefits. So again, don't believe most of this shit on social. A lot of these people love to play tax accountant on social media and can't find their head from the hole in their ass. Excuse my language, y'all. Like I said, I'm just being honest with y'all today. But let's go back to this. Now, y'all should be able to pick out from that simple definition, you should be able to pick out some of the things that don't necessarily pass the smell test, are a little fishy, may not truly apply to 99.99% of the people on social media. But let's get at it.
The rich don't work for money is number 1 expense is tax. See, there's 3 kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. if I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for 20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed.
Cash flow, cash flow, right? Did y'all hear that? Put it in the chat. Y'all heard it. Cash flow. Rents. That's usually what people are talking about when we talk about residential real estate or even commercial real estate. They're making money off of it some kind of way. Now, listen, there's all kinds of way to make money off of real estate, and it's not just rents. There's people that buy property and they run their business out of that property. And so that's legitimate. That's not necessarily rent, but guess what? It can still be business income and it's still taxable. So again, what he said isn't necessarily true, but don't believe me. Go to irs.gov, look this stuff up for yourself. All right. Look that stuff up for yourself, because again, most of the things that are floating around on social media are trash. All right. I hope, I encourage, I pray that you all are doing your due diligence, and you all are doing research if you see something on social that looks interesting and not just believing it at face value. Because most of these people on social have an ulterior motive. Everybody is not good, right? You shouldn't believe anybody. Jay-Z has a line in one of his songs that I totally love, I'm in love with. He says, question religion, question it all. Question those things until those questions are solved. Well, to me, I feel that you should do that. That should be your basis for life. Question everything. Now, if someone has proven themselves to be trustworthy and they have a consistent track record, then that's a little bit different. You can have faith in them. You can trust them. However, you should still verify from time to time, in my opinion. All right. So before I go to the next thing, let me do it. My brother is in the house. Tyrone Gregory's in the building. Listen, Tyrone Gregory is on Facebook. He lives on YouTube. But hey, man, appreciate you being here. If you want to come join me tonight too, Tyrone, feel free. Let me know. I'll shoot you the link. But he's right. That's the problem. Folks are lazy. He's right. He's right. And I'll be honest, y'all, I ride for the people. But y'all are lazy. And a lot of y'all stupid. Now, not my audience. Y'all ain't stupid. Y'all smart. But like some of the stuff that I see happen time in and time again, it doesn't make sense. And a lot of times it happens because people are not doing their due diligence. People want something for free. People just want to get a lottery ticket, as I like to say, right? They don't want to work. They don't want to work smart, because it's not just working hard. It's also about working smart, right? It's also about doing something good. Oh, Sis is in the building. What's up, Tish? All right, Tyrone. Again, Tyrone, y'all follow Tyrone on YouTube, right? Tyrone is the self-employed tax guy, right? I hope I got it right. He says he's not dressed. All right, listen. We're not broadcasting in our draws. I'm cool. Thank you for that, sir. All right, so, but like I said, if y'all want to see that one more time before we go forward, I'm cool. Just let me know, throw it in the chat, or we'll move on to the next thing for Charlie Munger. Remember, I got a couple of things I want to share with you all at the end of the night's broadcast. But you know what? I'm going to just run it again anyway.
So these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets.
They do have assets. That's cool. A lot of employed people have assets too. But
the other thing the poor don't understand is the number one expense for most people is taxes.
Well, the reason the rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for 20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So these guys are screaming, right?
All right, so listen, I just showed to y'all that passive income, rental income, whatever he wants to call it, whatever fancy term he wants to call it, it's taxed, right? The IRS recognizes it as income. If it's income, it will be taxed, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, I wanted to talk to y'all real quick because there's a reason why I don't talk about this guy too often, and I wanted to show it to you, but I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Un momento. Now, a buddy of mine wrote a piece about what I have a problem with, and I thought I had it set up before tonight. I don't. It's not working. The link's not working. I'm having technical difficulties. Gosh darn it. So let me see if I can find something else real quick. Because y'all know, listen, it's one thing to just talk about money. That's cool. There's also another thing, though, for us, Black folks, to be conscious capitalists. Now, I know y'all might say, well, I'm not a capitalist. Well, I hope you will become a conscious capitalist. All right, but here it is. I found something, right? I want to show it to you all. So I want y'all to know I'm not just making this stuff up. So like I said, a buddy of mine, Rakim Sabri, he's been on the show before. And this is something that Rich Dad authors, Black Lives Matter's loser's comment is betrayal. And so Rakim wrote about this. For the Creole, he got a lot of press for it. He got a lot of accolades for it. So during the height of COVID and the BLM uprising, because of the death of, oh man, what is his name? For the man who was killed in Minneapolis. I cannot remember his name. All right, but as a result of the riots and everything else, he decided to say that the people in BLM were losers. Well, I feel that that's anti-Black. All right? And I feel that that's a betrayal, as it says there, because a lot of Black folks rock with this man. George Floyd. Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you, George Floyd. So after the death of George Floyd, we saw a lot of riots. And a lot of times, the narrative was in mainstream media that the peaceful protests that were led by a lot of Black people ended up in riots. But in actuality, when you look a little deeper, a lot of them had a lot of white antagonizers who were sparking the flames of these riots. But Rich Dad didn't bring that up at all. So he just chose to call all of us, I'd say the Black community, losers. And so I don't like talking about it. But what I've come to know is, like, he's such a prominent force. He's around, and a lot of his rhetoric, what he likes to do is stoke the flames. He lies a lot, or let me not say lie. Allegedly, he does not always tell the full truth. Is that better? I don't have time to get sued by anybody. I ain't got time for that. But he's always saying that the market's going to crash this, the market's going to crash that. He's inciting fear. I mean, he's been around for at least 20 years, and he's called a recession every 2 years, it seems like. There's going to be a market crash every 2 years, right? He stokes fear. He's not very objective, in my opinion. He's really only stoking fear because he wants to sell something, right? Again, most people are online because they want something to sell. They want to extract the money that's in your pocketbooks and wallets out of them and put them in their pocketbooks and wallets, especially him. And you can say, well, he's just being a good capitalist or a good marketer or a good salesperson. Sure, we could say all that. However, the truth stands up to a lie all day long, unless that lie is echoed from a mountaintop and it's believed by everybody. But it's still the truth. It's still the truth. And so for this man who has a large Black following, that shows that he's not really in tune with his people. But that's all I got to say. But thank you for that, Tyrone. Yes, George Floyd. And yeah, that's true too. I don't care about his political leanings, right? Because as it relates to Black folks, a lot of them are the same, but it is a very nuanced conversation. I'll be honest. I'm really disappointed in a lot of the political conversation now because I'm like, do you not see what I'm seeing? But, everybody's entitled to that. Everybody is entitled to that. All right. So I wanted to talk about this other thing. So great man died yesterday, Charles Munger, right-hand man of Warren Buffett. Y'all know I talk about Warren Buffett a lot. And actually, what y'all probably don't know is that I'm a big Warren Buffett fan. I'm probably an even bigger Charles Munger fan because he's just raw to the point, straight no chaser. I love it. I love it. So hold on. I just saw there's a question. So before I go any further, let me get to this. PS5 gurus. Well, I thought it said PSSS5. No. That's not me. This is Charles Munger. My loss. Actually, I had a loss last week, but thank you. All right. So PS5 guru says, what do you think a person with this huge following would be out here spreading misinformation? Why do you think, okay, let me back up. Why do you think a person with this huge following will be out here spreading misinformation? Well, listen, look at the previous president, aka the Orange Monkey. He spread false information a lot. It's documented that he's lied over 30,000 times. 3000, right? 30,000 times. He's got a larger following than Robert Kiyosaki. Why do he lie? He's pushing something. He's got something. He's pushing an agenda. And the agenda ain't truth. So for Rich Dad, quote unquote Rich Dad, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he's pushing his books. He's pushing his courses. He's pushing just being a brand, right? I mean, because after a while, you have to keep feeding the machine. And he's always kind of said, well, everything's trash with the exception of real estate and gold. Everything's going to crash except for real estate and gold. And there's a lot of flaws with that. But again, y'all know I'm a financial nerd. So, right, let's look at gold. Everybody talks about gold, precious metals, right? You should get them when there is thought of hyperinflation or the threat of war or whatever. And you can see it too. Anytime that there is any global uprising or geopolitical uprising, gold, silver tends to go up in value. Guess what? Bonds do too. Okay. Now, a lot of times people say, well, you should get gold. Again, because if the sky falls, you can sell your gold. Well, here's the thing. If you study history, I study history a little bit. When the sky falls, when the shit hits the fan, nobody wants gold. Nobody's thinking about gold, right? They're thinking about food, shelter, water, clothing, ammunition, fuel, right? Those are the things that people are thinking about when you're in a chaotic time. Not gold. Now, sure, if you start developing a manufacturing plant, because gold can be used for certain manufacturing type things and building and big heavy equipment, but not all things, right? The core things, food, water, shelter, clothing, those are the things that will be needed if things really get dicey. Nothing else matters. But don't trust me. Go do your research. And don't just look in the last 5 years. Look what they used to do 1,000 years ago. Look what they used to do 500 years ago. Look at what they used to do 100 years ago. What was the priority? What were they thinking about? Why did Germany lose the war? Well, I should say, why did Napoleon or the French lose the war? Well, they talk about Napoleon all the time in overall war theory. They said he fought on too many fronts. His men were going to Russia and he didn't have food. He didn't have coat because it was cold there, snowy there, right? So when you don't have certain things to deal with the conditions, gold's not going to cut it. All right. PS5 Guru says he's been writing books for far too long. Hey, listen, if that's his thing, that's his thing. I ain't got no problem with it. All right, Ryan Simmons in the building. What's up, Ryan? All right, Ryan says, heck, you probably only need to go back to the 70s to find out what really matters. I mean, that's real. That's real. I mean, when you look at the what the oil crisis or some of the hostage negotiation situations, there are plenty of examples of things that happen to let you know. But I like to go back further because a lot of times people do what they call, it's called a confirmation bias. I'll spare y'all the boring definitions and all that, right? But what they do is, old boy does this, by the way. The other popular financial guy that has a radio show. I don't feel like saying his name right now. He'll say, listen, if you look back the last 10 years, the stock market has done X, Y, Z. And you only need to think about X, Y, Z. But if you look at the last 10 years, what happened is we had a major recession. It's called the Great Recession, right? Starting around 08, 2008, 2009. Stock market bottomed in that year. 2009, it is. We have been rebounding from that the last 10 plus years. So it doesn't really, you won't get a full picture of what possibly can happen in the stock market if you're only looking at the last 10 years. Go back the last 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You'll see how the stock market ebbs and flows. And the stock market is a great proxy of overall economic ups and downs, right? They kind of mirror themselves in a way. So when you go back and you look at the trends, you'll see that it ain't always smooth sailing, right? And everybody not always getting to the money. All right. So, all right, listen, I want to get to Warren Buffett. Excuse me, not Warren Buffett. Charlie Munger. So I won't hold y'all all night because you know I will talk to y'all all night. I don't think y'all like it though. All right, so Charlie Munger. Now, of Charlie Munger's best investing lessons and words of wisdom. So he's got a lot. So there's a couple of videos embedded here that we'll play, we'll get into. And I'll probably come back and do a separate episode for this, talking about Munger and a lot of his stuff as well. All right, so number one, lifelong learners is paramount to long-term success. That's a gem. That is a gem. Lifelong learning is paramount to long-term success. That is a gem. Do y'all agree? All right, so that's number one. Number two, if I can be optimistic when I'm nearly dead, surely the rest of you can handle a little inflation. All right, so that came from the 2010 annual Berkshire Hathaway meeting. All right, so a lot of these are tweets that people have been amassing ever since they found out about the passing of Charlie Munger. I mean, I think this is very profound right here. If I can be optimistic when I am nearly dead, surely the rest of you can handle a little inflation, right? Because every time the markets get crazy, people get all bent out of shape, right? It's like they're walking around with their panties in a bunch. They think the sky is falling and everything's going to be for naught. But that ain't the case, right? Things go up, things go down, things happen. It's life. Just like the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. I'll give you all right, I'm thinking about Gerald Levert right now, so I'm not going to sing for y'all. All right, so here's another one. Every time you hear EBITDA, now y'all have heard me say EBITDA before. Every time you hear EBITDA, just substitute it with bullshit. That was one of the phrases Charlie Munger was very well known for. Now I want to play this clip.
How could it be otherwise? It's not crazy enough so that the world is looking for a lot of undeserving people to reward. Everybody wants virtue, but not quite yet. They're like that guy who felt that way about sex. He was willing to give it up, but not quite yet. Well, you don't want to be like the motion picture executive in California. And they said the funeral was so large because everybody wanted to make sure he was dead. It was investment banker aided fraud. Now, not exactly novel.
That does not mean we approve of every buyback at all, though. I mean, we've seen.
No.
Yeah.
I think some people just buy it to keep the stock up. And that, of course, is insane.
That's real, right? A lot of times when we see stock buybacks come, we see stock prices be overinflated, but just against their overall value. It's because some financial engineering has been taking place. Fancy word of, let's see, what word do I want to use? Some fancy accounting, right? The companies will take some of their money, whether it's profits or loans, and they will buy back the stock. So they go to the marketplace, they buy the stock. Stocks work based off supply and demand, right? So when you are buying stock, you are showing that there's a higher case of demand, all right? And when you're effectively buying it, you are lowering the overall supply of it, all right?
And immoral. But apart from that, it's fine.
I've listened to so many nonsense.
Now, what's funny is if anybody has a chance, look up Berkshire Hathaway stock. Let me see if I can find it right now. Does anybody know how much Berkshire Hathaway stock is right now? Now, here's a little tip. There's at least two classes of stock for Berkshire Hathaway. There's a Class A and a Class B. And typically Class A has more shares. It has more voting rights than Class B. Right now, Berkshire Hathaway. Here, let me share this on the screen with y'all so y'all don't think I'm making this up. All right. Let me share this with y'all real quick. $543,905. $543,900. Excuse me, $905. That's how much the stock is going for right now. Guess what? You only get a stock price like that if you never do any splits, if you never do any buybacks, if you never do any other shenanigans, right? They just let the stock ride. If people want to buy it, they buy it. They don't do a whole lot of super duper fancy smancy financial engineering. So, he said it's amoral. They don't do it. They don't believe in it. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. So let's go back to this other piece here. Now, what do y'all think so far about this? Are any of y'all familiar with Charlie Munger? Throw that in the chat and let me know. So I'm going to throw this here. Here we go. All right.
Sensical cost of capital discussions that.
I've never heard an intelligent one.
Yeah. Charlie's big on lowering expectations.
Absolutely. That's the way I got married. My wife lowered her expectations. Sure, there are a lot of things in life way more important than wealth. All that said, some people do get confused. I play golf with a man. He says, "What good is health? You can't buy money with it." Well,
what good is health? You can't buy money with it. That's hilarious.
There are a whole lot of things I don't think about. And one of them is companies that are losing $2 or $3 billion a year and going public.
That's a gem right there. Y'all might have missed that. Companies that are losing 2 or 3 billion that are going public. So he's speaking directly to a lot of companies who get investor capital, venture capital money. They're not making any money. They don't really have a true proven business case. But yet they will go public, take their stock public. And then the stock will get pushed up because IPOs are marketing schemes. I've told you that before, right? They get the market all hyped up, they run up, potentially they make more money. So it's a great it's a great strategy for the founders and investors.
In accounting, you can do
All right, hold on. Oh, there we go.
things like they do in Italy when they have trouble with the mail. It piles up and irritates the postal employees. They just throw away a few carloads, and then everything's flows smoothly thereafter.
Folks. That happened in some.
Now, if y'all don't know this, they actually do that in the United States too. It's been well documented. All you got to do is Google it. Postal workers throwing away mail.
Unnamed international country.
Yeah, Italy. The general system for money management requires people to pretend that they can do something that they can't do and to pretend to like it when they really don't. I think that's a terrible way to spend your life, but it's very well paid. Well, I can't give you a formulaic approach because I don't use one. If you want a formula, you should go back to graduate school. They'll give you lots of formulas that won't work.
So I hope y'all enjoying this. I'm nerding out over this, right?
As Samuel Johnson said famously, I can give you an argument, but I can't give you an understanding. It's extraordinary how resistant some people are to learning anything.
He
The answer
volunteers.
is no, the board at Lubersol did not breach its duty because we were not going to participate in the transaction if they didn't do it our way. Has anybody else got an easy question? And yet it's perfectly obvious, at least to me, that to say that derivative accounting in America is a sewer is an insult to sewage.
Now, what is derivative accounting? Anybody familiar with what that is? Anybody know what a derivative is? I've covered this before. Derivative, in the context in which he's talking about, are usually options. You're probably seeing a lot of people talking about options now, right? Commodity contracts, things like that. Those are typically considered derivatives. And then there are special accounting rules for them.
It's not that great a business as a business, casualty insurance. It's a tough game. There are temptations to be stupid in it. It's like banking. But competency is a relative concept. And what a lot of us need, including the one speaking, what I needed to get ahead was to compete against idiots. And luckily there's a large supply. And I don't like multitasking. I see these people doing three things at once, and I think, God, what a terrible way that is to think. I like cryptocurrency.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm a big fan of not multitasking because I don't do it well. I know some of the mothers are in the building. Tish is a mother. Mothers are always multitasking, right? Shout out to the ladies. I don't do it well. I don't know too many men who do it well either. Honestly, I don't know a lot of women who do it well also.
He's a lot less than you do. And I think the people
Hold on, let's rewind that. Let's talk about that.
do. And I
didn't go back far enough. Here we go.
things at once, and I think, God, what a terrible way that is to think. I like cryptocurrencies a lot less than you do. And I think the people who are
I like cryptocurrencies a lot less than you do. I don't know if y'all caught that.
professional traders that go into trading cryptocurrencies, it's just disgusting. It's like somebody else is trading turds and you decide I can't be left out. Warren reminds me, once I asked the man.
Did y'all get that? He said somebody's trading turds and I don't want to be left out, right? So that's like speaking to FOMO, fear of missing out. It's like somebody else is doing it. Somebody else has got the hot tip and I went in because I'm afraid to lose. Even though you might not understand it, even though it could be trash, even though you don't really get it, but you want to be in because, again, you don't want to miss out.
I just left a large investment bank and I said, how does your firm make its money? He said, off the top, off the bottom, off both sides, and in the middle. Well, I would rather throw.
Shout out to Chaz. Yeah, listen, we got to get you on too. I know I promised you to come on. We supposed to do some stuff. Chas is a master investor, master trader. She actually helped me understand options a little bit more. What not understand, but understand how to trade them better. So shout outs to her.
Throw a viper down my shirt front than hire a compensation consultant. I think I've offended enough people.
Right. There's 2 or 3 in the balcony.
Those
All
of
right,
you
so
who are about to enter business.
So I thought that was good. A lot of stuff. Again, I'm a big Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett fan. But again, we were on number 3. Every time you hear EBITDA or EBITDA, which stands for earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, I get why he says that. I get why he says that. All right, so number 4. Number 4, if you're not willing to react with equanimity to market price decline of 50%, 2 or 3 times a century, you are not fit to be a common shareholder, and you do not deserve the mediocre results that we're going to get. So think about that. Now, this is a clip. I know this clip very well. I never watched it tonight, but I've seen it before. He was talking about being a shareholder in Berkshire Hathaway. Now, I just showed y'all how much Berkshire trades for $500,000, right? Almost $500,000 a share. And he was saying that he has seen him. Let's go to the clip.
In fact, you can argue that if you're not willing to react with equanimity.
Let's go. Let me blow that up, y'all. Blow that up. There we go.
In fact, you can argue that if you're not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 50%, 2 or 3 times a century, you're not fit to be a common shareholder, and you deserve the mediocre result you're going to get. In fact, you can argue that if you're not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 50%, 2 or 3 times a century, you're not fit to be a common shareholder, and you deserve the mediocre result you're going to get.
Now, if anybody's familiar with Warren Buffett, again, with Charlie Munger, their styles to buy forever. Once they buy something, they're in it forever. They don't believe in jumping in and out of investments. They don't believe in trying to day trade or any of that. They want to buy it, they want to hold it, and never sell it, for the most part. Now, they do go in and out of positions at times, but their goal is not to be in and out and in on different positions, right? And again, when you look at Berkshire Hathaway's stock price, again, over $540,000 a share, that's pretty evident. That's pretty evident. All right.
In fact, you can argue that if you're not willing to react.
That's not what I want to do. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. So, but what do y'all think about this going forward, or so far this evening? Right. I mean, there's a lot of gems that Munger espouses. All right. So, all right, number 5. Let me put it back on the screen for y'all. Number 5. I done messed up. Number 5. Charlie Munger's formula for success is simple and perfect. Spend less than you earn. Where'd y'all hear that before? Invest prudently. Avoid toxic people and toxic activities. Defer gratification. Never stop learning. Those are gems. Just gems. All right, Chaz, I got you. Oh, man. JT Coins. Shout out to JT Coins. If y'all don't know this, JT Coins is probably one of the channel's biggest fans, right? He's always supporting. He's always throwing super chats. But this man's got a YouTube channel and doing a thing himself. Matter of fact, his following is bigger than mine. And he does some great stuff. So make sure y'all go follow JT Coins. JT, when you coming on the channel, man? Come on. Just shoot me some dates, man. Let's go. But JT Coins actually makes rings. So I'm actually, I think I want to get some rings for next year. I might have to talk to him now so I can start saving my little pennies, nickels, and dimes so I can get something. All right. Well, thank you for the $1.99 super chat, sir. Appreciate you. All right. Ryan Sim says value investing correct. You are very correct, sir. That is what Warren and Charlie are all about. Engineered by Benjamin Graham. Let me see. I think I have his book. I got it somewhere. All right. Self-made SM is in the building as well. Welcome. All right. Be sure to like, comment, and share this out. We're trying to grow the channel. The goal is to get the channel to 10,000 subs by year end. I'm way off course. So we'll see. All right. So number 6. This is still one of my favorite quotes from Charlie Munger about stock picking. All right. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. Again, a great business at a fair price is far superior to a fair business at a great price. Do y'all get that? Could y'all read that? Let me blow it up a little bit. That's a major gem. One more time. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. Right? He's talking about the business being a great business and being at a fair price is better than a superior business at a great price. All right. Wait a minute, I messed that up again. A great business at a fair price. So we got a great business that's got a great price. It's superior to a fair business at a great price, right? Because in value investing, everything is really about the core of the business. Is the business good? Forget the price of the stock, right? The price of the stock and the grade of the business are two separate things. And usually they're correlated, but not always, right? Meaning that if you've got a great business and the stock price is doing really good, that's a great thing. However, sometimes that stock could be priced undervalued. The market may not perceive a great value for that stock. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. So let's go here. Number 7, the best thing a human being can do is help another human being know more. That's what I try to do. I don't know if I'm being successful at it. Y'all let me know if I'm doing a good thing or not. Again, the best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. I don't know if I would say know more. I would probably say understand more, but understanding is different than knowing. All right, number 8, the world is not driven by greed. It's driven by envy. Again, the world is not driven by greed. It is driven by envy. Listen, keeping up with the Joneses is the real thing. Number 9, the best armor of old age is a well-spent life preceding it. All right, that was taken from the book of The Tale of Charlie. All right, I think I want to get that. The best armor of old age is a well-spent life preceding that, meaning that live a good life along the way so that when you get older, you don't really have any regrets. That's what I'm trying to do, y'all. All right. So I got a couple other things I want to share with y'all, a couple other accomplishments I've done, a couple things I'm proud of, and I want to share them with y'all. But before I get to that, let's see. All right, self-made SM says, you'll get a 10K, man. You got this. Thank you, sir. I am glad you believe in me. I'm at, let's see, what am I at right now? It is, can somebody give me the date? Somebody throw the date in the chat for me. Self-Made says, is there a lot of keeping up with the Joneses in Philly? Yes, there is. There's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses everywhere around the world. It's part of the human nature. And yes, Ryan, The Intelligent Investor is definitely Benjamin Graham's book. It's long, so long. Oh man, you want it? So I didn't gotta look it up. I was trying to show off my tech equipment. But no, thank you for that, sir. Thank you. All right, so it's 11:29. I am at 7,603, 7.63K. That's what I got. All right, let's put that up on the screen. All right, so that's what I got right now. So I got 7.63 thousand, right? A little under 7,700. So 7,700 subs. It's 11:29. Tomorrow's going to be 11:30. All right, the day after that is going to be December, the last month of the year. So in fact, I got, 31, 32 days left. In order to get to that goal, I would need, somebody do the math for me. What do I need? How many more subs do I need by the end of the year? 3,300, something like that. Let's round it up. 3,300. I don't know. Do y'all believe in me? Y'all think we can do it? Is it possible? Is it possible? All right. Well, if you believe, please like, share, and comment as well. All right. So I wanted to show y'all a couple things. Right. Y'all see this right now. I was supposed to set something up because I wanted to show y'all this. This is, let me come back just a little bit. This is the EA Journal. EA stands for Enrolled Agent, the Enrolled Agent Journal. The EA Journal is a publication of the National Association of Enrolled Agents, which I am a member of. And I am also an enrolled agent. A lot of people don't know what an enrolled agent is. An enrolled agent means I have the privilege to represent taxpayers in front of the IRS. It's a designation for tax accountants or people, tax professionals who want to represent their clients in front of the IRS. Basically, the IRS says, I have a good enough level to help with tax people or tax issues across the land. And I can negotiate and help people out with their taxes. But I wrote an article and it got published in this magazine. So I wanted to talk about that. This is my very first published article in a magazine. I've been published in newspapers. I've been published in actually the Daily News, the Daily News and the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is the biggest paper in Philadelphia, but it wasn't for tax. Well, actually it kind of was, but I'll talk about that another day. Actually, I was trying to see, I have that one framed around here somewhere. But again, I wrote my first article that got published right here. That's my name. Kamari Ellis. Y'all see it, right? All right. IRS to review high audit rates for Black people. And y'all know I'm always putting them for Black people. All right. So I actually did a video on this on the channel. It's somewhere, right? The IRS for a long time have audited Black people disproportionately higher than non-Black people. That ain't right. And there's a whole lot of reasons for it. But I wrote about that again here, and it got published. So I want to see about getting this mounted, put it up on my wall somewhere. Somebody told me I gotta celebrate my accomplishments and accolades now. Right? All right. And then I also got this. I got this thing. Here, let me show you this real quick. I went to a gala earlier this month. And I ran one of my first ads. Well, I ran a couple other ads, right? I usually don't run print ads too much. I don't necessarily see a lot of business from it. But I'm proud of that. And I got this. I got this nice fancy box right here. So on my birthday, this gala was on my birthday earlier this month. And I got a bit of a surprise when I went to the gala. And the gala was for the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists. It's the nonprofit that I'm the treasurer of. But I got this. Right there. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. All right, so I got the President's Award because they feel I do too much work for free. But no, I got the President's Award because I've helped to do a lot of things in the organization because I believe that Black journalism and Black media, when you look into the history of it, the Black community will be nowhere without Black journalists. Good Black journalists. All right, I've got too many fingerprints on this thing. So I got this on my birthday, y'all, earlier this month. So I'm out here trying to do some things, trying to make some things happen, trying to stay connected with y'all, you know? So now I got to figure out where else I should write a magazine article for or a newspaper article. I used to write a lot more. I don't write as much now. I ain't got the time. I'd rather talk to y'all. That's quicker. But I actually do enjoy writing. I really enjoy writing. All right, so let's see here. All right, so JT Gordon said I will put out 3 shorts a day. You'll get there. All right. Only problem with shorts, JT, is a lot of times they are not like the algorithm looks at it a whole different way. But yeah, we can do that. Oh, but thank you. I'm looking at the comment. I'm reading ahead. Some slander is in the chat. Some slander. All right, that's my boy Jay Jack right there. Look at what he said, y'all. It looks photoshopped to me. Listen, me and Jay always cutting the fat. Let me show it again. Right? That ain't photoshopped. You can hear it. It's real crystal. Now, they surprised me with that because I didn't even know they were giving me that. And so they must have paid for this somehow without me knowing it. So we got to go back and check. Anytime the treasurer doesn't know what's being spent, you know that's not a good thing. So they got one over on me real quick, y'all. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. All right, so congrats, yes, sir. So this magazine is for enrolled agents only. It's a membership magazine. But I want to, I got to figure it out. I might print it out. Y'all tell me, y'all want to print it out and put it somewhere? Because I can print it out and put it somewhere. Again, the title is IRS to review high audit rates for Black taxpayers. All right. Just reading the first paragraph. The current climate regarding artificial intelligence and bias, y'all. The current climate regarding artificial intelligence and bias has become a hot topic for debate. It seems Black taxpayers are unfortunately being targeted in a largely automated process. According to the New York Times Internal Revenue Services Commissioner Dan Warfel, stated in a letter to Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, the Democratic chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, while there is a need for further research, our initial findings support the conclusion that Black taxpayers may be audited at higher rates than would be expected, giving their share of the population. That's crazy to me. Oh, this is funny. Now, Benny Philette says, if you're paying taxes, you're funny. Listen, I'm paying taxes because I don't want to go to jail. Because my joke-telling ability in jail ain't funny. So I'm cool. I'm cool. But South Bay, tell me what you think. Do you want me to print it out and I'll get a link somehow, share it out to everybody. I'll also, other thing that we can do also is, I did a video on this on the channel. I will share it out, maybe do some links on it as well. All right, Jay says, I'm talking about the ad. You definitely deserve the award. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, well, technically, I guess the ad, it was Photoshopped. It's in Photoshop, right? You know. Amos Edie. Good evening, Kamari. How are you? Happy holidays. Liked and shared. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Miss Edie's Kitchen is another big supporter of mine. Everybody go follow her as well. She's been around for a minute. Now, there was one other video I wanted to share with y'all, but I don't think I set it up right. All right. Okay. Yeah, print it out. I'm really interested in reading it. I'm reading a book on the first Black accountants. Yo, that's dope. What book is that? What book is that? That's my Morris Chestnut headshot. Listen, Morris Chestnut is a smooth brother. I don't think I pulled it off that well. Let's see. Let me see. What do y'all think? Is this giving Morris Chestnut vibes? I don't think so. First of all, I'm not dark enough. You know, he got that deep, dark, blue back, Black African. I got that little black caramel thing going on. We both got bald heads though. But shout out to Morris Chestnut. Y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. Now, I did have, like I said, I did have one more video. Let me see if I can play that for y'all real quick. And this is from my boy JT. Y'all know JT. Pocket Watching with JT. He shared something today I thought was hilarious. Not hilarious in a real hilarious way, just sad, but also par for the course of where we are today. So let's see if I can share this over real quick. But anybody have oh Manny, why you give me the dead face? Not you light skinned now. No, I'm not light skinned. But listen, you know the test. The test was the paper bag test. I ain't passing the paper bag test. Not at all. Not at all. All right, so I got some work to do. All right, so all right, 3 shorts a day. Let's go back to that. 3 shorts a day. Here we go. JT Coin, 3 shorts a day. I'm gonna put out 3 shorts a day. You'll get there. I can do 3 shorts. I can go back and get old stuff and just repurpose it. So I think you need a combination of shorts and long form video, or else you'll alienate. Like, because all they're looking for is shorts, and they find that you're not doing shorts every day. Sometimes you'll alienate your audience. And I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. All right, so I wanted to show this last video. This is from my boy, Jason Thornton, Pocket Watching with JT, the man who's always got the smoke, always got problems.
Oh, love. I don't want to be clear about this check. I want to be crystal clear in front of everybody. So you guys can invest and show people through this investment how you're making money. And also, all of the proceeds of this are going to go to my schools in New York.
So what we're going to do is, like Diddy said, man, he's giving us $1 million. You watch Market Mondays all the time. You watch On Your Leisure all the time. You always talk about investing. So, put your money where your mouth is, right?
This is how Earn Your Leisure responded. Give Diddy that money back, EYL. Well, bozo, we never got the money.
So based on reports, EYL never got the money from Diddy. and now the school has ended its partnership with Diddy. But I guess this wouldn't be the first fake $1 million donation.
That's great.
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
I mean, everybody knows Diddy's in the news. I'm not really going to get into the Diddy thing. Y'all know I covered his lawsuit with Diageo that they're countersuing each other, but I'm not going to get into the Diddy stuff with his essay and great problems. He's stepping down from Revolt again. I mean, I could make the argument for covering it, but I don't really like covering. I don't see the value in that, right? I don't see what anybody gets from that. A lot of people are getting value from it from an entertainment standpoint, though. Like, people think it's funny. They're entertained by it. That's not something I really want to cover. However, what I thought was really funny about that video in particular is that everybody is looking, and this isn't about EYL, by the way, there was an EYL at their InvestFest conference, right? Diddy was there. He wanted to make a grandstand. Pledged $1 million that they can invest for the benefit of the kids, because Diddy was part of some of these charter schools in Harlem and I think in the Bronx as well, which they said he stepped down, just like I said, he stepped down from Revolt. But they said he never got the money from Diddy. He never paid the money. Why are we out here perpetrating like we giving people $1 million for this great good? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, some of my friends call me a natural contrarian, because I don't believe none of this stuff. I think everything's for a rollout. I think everything is marketing and promotion. Everything is to extract money out of your pocketbook and wallet for their betterment. Most times. There are exceptions. But I think most of these people are full of shit. I'm just being honest with y'all. Just being totally honest with y'all. I think most people are full of shit. So, again, I don't know. Like, when you see people, these quote-unquote famous people or non-famous people do these big, grandiose things, take it with a grain of salt. That's all I got to say, y'all. Take it with a grain of salt. All right, so going back to the strategy, One Short got me 8K new subs. That's dope. But see, JT, you do something really, really interesting, right? You're actually teaching people how to make money. You're teaching people a skill, right? Because you're teaching people how to do what you do with making your rings. I mean, I know some people watch it for entertainment. Some people are like, maybe I can make rings, right? Some people are just like, are entertained by it all. But a lot of times, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I think you got to kind of be a nerd to really check out my content. I don't know if they really, really are finding that super duper funny. Y'all tell me though. Y'all tell me though. Or when I say super duper useful sometimes, because you really got to be into it to really put used to it. Like, I don't talk to y'all about stocks and investments all the time, because when I talk to y'all about it, I want it to be something meaningful that I believe in. I don't want this to give y'all caca, just something just to give y'all, just some fruit, right? So I want to give y'all real stuff. So I'm not going to talk to you every day about stocks, because I don't think most people should be in the market every day anyway, at least not most beginners, right? So it depends. But I'll try that. I can do 3 shorts, and I got a whole bunch of other videos I need to review. I'll probably redo that whole tax piece I just went over tonight with Robert Kiyosaki. So maybe I'll redo that. I got a bunch of those. All right. Salme Estimate said you can cover Diddy financials and screwing over his bad boy artists. I did cover that already though. In his Bad Ciroc deal. Let's see if I can find that. See, y'all got to go back through the catalog, man. I be doing this. Because I found some clips from Mark Curry. I was actually just looking at that the other night, because I know my brother Jimmy over from By the Hood came on with me, and we talked about that. I'm looking now. Let's see if we said explicitly Diddy. If not, maybe what I'll do is I'll pull the short out, the clip, and I'll relabel it. Let's see. I don't know. I think it might have got buried in something. Okay, all right. That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a great point. That Benison Jack Parker makes me laugh every time. Yes, he's hilarious. He says, "No, you just woke." That's all good. They should have known that Diddy don't pay people. What makes you think he's going to pay you? I mean, he does pay some people, right? A lot of times, a lot of stuff gets exaggerated. They were the Locks. There was a video from the Locks when they were up at the radio station. Diddy called up because apparently they must have been blowing his back out. And he was like, "You can come to my office. You can come to my office." It was hilarious. It was hilarious. All right, let's see. What say you, Jay? All right, so Jay says, "I don't believe nothing these folks say. I still have several millions that owe me $40. Oh, let me back up. I don't believe nothing these folks say. I still have several millionaires that owe me $40, $50. Right, so if there was really millionaires and they owe you that money, what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, my man is in the building. I can watch me, JT. You heard me talking about you? Hey, boy, you heard me talking about you? I just talked about you. I just talked about your video. I guess we got to play it again now you're here.
Oh boy,
Love.
Because I thought this video you did was hilarious.
I don't want to be clear about this check. I want to be crystal clear in front of everybody, so you guys can invest and show people through this investment how you're making money, and also all of the proceeds of this are going to go to my schools in New York.
So what we're going to do is, like Diddy said, man, he's giving us $1 million. You watch Market Mondays all the time.
Y'all know he ain't get that million. Where that million at? I guess they counted it, got the check. I don't know. But yeah, JT says, "Hey, bro, just wanted to say thank you for your support. It takes community to get 100,000. Listen, y'all go follow Pocket Watching with JT as well. If you are not already, JT is my guy. Listen, I rock with. I don't think he's had one review I disagree with. Maybe there's one, but not really. And I feel like they're all fact-based, no fluff, no bullshit, just straight to the point. And a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. All right, Miss Edie enjoys the shows. Yeah, I mean, listen, they're good. Listen, he is a broadcasting natural. I don't think many people have got me. I gotta give him the flowers though, y'all. He's great. He's a natural. JT says, "When I saw that check, all I could think about was Jeezy and Mr. Borson." Oh Lord. I mean, great analysis. Great analysis. All right. JT Coins giving shouts out. Excuse me. I'm tired, y'all. Let me get some water. Bowling up. Pocket Watchman JT is giving a shout out. JT Coins is giving a shout out to Pocket Watchman JT. And they going right back with it. All right. So Self-Made SM says, "It's with a lot of black folks. Unfortunately, you have to make it entertainment mixed with finance." I mean, I did a little bit, but do a show with JT Pocket Watcher and Erica again. Yeah, me and Erica were just talking about doing a show again. And it's funny, I got some content that I got a show with JT I have not published yet. He probably mad at me too. But I'm about to release it. It's called The Black Accountant, right? Because I always want to highlight other good black accountants, right? We always focus on these quote unquote fancy, fresh and fly people, so-called, fancy flush and properties. But I wanted to highlight the stories of real people. So that's coming out real soon. It's just about done. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to link up with JT. I just moved to STL, St. Louis. Yes. Yes, you have. You've been asking about me connecting you with JT for a minute now. Listen, I'm almost like JT's production assistant. They be calling me to get him as a secretary sometimes. All right. Selfmade SM said, whenever you get the time, there's a link to Diddy not having equal equity. What do you mean by that, equal equity? You talking about with his artists? You talking about with his deals with like Arista and Universal and all of that? I mean, but here's the thing, y'all. While I enjoy some of the shenanigans too, but how does it help you directly? If I can't pull a real teachable moment, I don't necessarily share it because it's just for my personal enjoyment, my shits and giggles. I mean, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but yeah. Oh, no, it's a rock deal. Well, listen, he would never I covered that. I covered the Diddy deal. Listen, y'all got to go back and check my resume. Covered it already. Hold on, let me see. If y'all go look at my Black Wealth, I think it's in there. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Un momento. Give me 1 second. I'm looking. Maybe I don't have it in there. But I did cover the Ciroc deal. And no, he does not own equity in Ciroc. He does, however, excuse me, y'all. He does, however, own equity in De Leon, the tequila. And I believe there might be another liquor that he put out. No, it's not in there. But listen, I will say this though. The videos I am most proud of doing, for the most part, are these. I'm gonna put them in the chat. And so if y'all rock with me, y'all check these out and put them in the chat. All right. So that is my Black Wealth. I'm covering different topics about Black Wealth. Now, you could literally say every topic I talk about, every video I do has Black Wealth and then throughout it in some way, shape, or form, or personal finance that relates to the Black community. But those in particular, I'm really proud of. And like I said, I'm really proud of this, right? Because one of the things, again, this award is, and one of the reasons I am a member of PABJ, Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, is because I try to do my content with journalistic principles and intent. Do no harm, do good research, right? Find opposing views, things like that. Un momento, por favor, yo hablo español poquito. Yes, one moment, please. Right, so that is one thing I am really proud of, and that is the President's Award that I got earlier this month on my birthday. But all right, so I'm trying to catch up with JT, y'all. Now, you know, at one point I had more subs than him. Now he got way more than me, but it's not really a race, because I believe if I can just help one person at a time, I'm more than happy with that. I'm not looking to be, you know, it's funny, JT does this thing where I'm just this old country boy. He said something like he's slow, right? He's, you know, making jokes about some of the stuff that other people he's covering him. I mean, they got a whole alias for him. I forget what it was. What's your alias? JT? I can't think of what it is. What you call him gave you an alias when they said you clout chasing. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for the congrats on the award. Right? But again, at the end of the day, I just want to make the community better. That's it. That's it. That's all I can say. All right, here we go. What we got? Jay Jackson says, I just like to see you stand in from a Rolls Royce and talk about black wealth. It would make me believable. Man, we don't need no damn Rolls Royce. We don't need no cars. We need books. We need schools that are helping to get our children literate, financial literate, but literate overall. One of our biggest problems with wealth attainment is literacy. A lot of people can't read, y'all. Can't read. So fuck a Rolls. If you can't read, what good does any of this stuff do? If you can't do basic math, what good are any of these things? And I know Jay's joking, but there's really a lot of people that believe this. There's a lot of folks that believe this. So, again, I hope you all get something out of these shows. I'll be doing more. I'll take that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these questions that people keep asking me. Like I keep getting questions from my son. And a lot of stuff is hilarious. And a lot of times I don't be wanting to cover it because, like I tell my son, it's ghetto finance. And it's not really worth covering. However, he's like, but I be wanting to know. Matter of fact, he called me the other day, 2 days ago, he called me with a disclaimer. He was like, hey, I'm going to send you this video. And I just want you to tell me and break it down. I don't want you to tell me what I should do or what I should not do. I said, well, first of all, if you want to take up my time to explain the video to me, you're not going to rob me from my fathership, stewardship obligation to you. Because my kids say I give too many stories. They don't want to hear me talk. Meaning I talk too much. That's all that means. That's right. Functional finance, functional literacy. Yes. I would probably say that's our biggest problem. Now you good, Jay. I got it. Jay says, I want you to be iced out. I want you to wear an iced out chain that says Finance Rebel TFR, the Finance Rebel Show. You got jokes. But I ain't doing none of that. None of it. I barely wear jewelry. So I don't do none of that. Jay, I need to get you back on the show too. Definitely need to get you back on the show too. But listen, like, there's a lot of things going on. The economy is changing really fast. You got tax things changing really fast. And I have never been the guy, the flashy type that want to, listen, first of all, here's a secret. I only started doing videos because I started doing radio and it was just a natural progression. But I never really wanted to be in front of the camera. I never really wanted people to know who I am. So, I guess that probably comes through to a certain degree. I'm the guy, the way I'm dressed now, the way I dress every day. I don't wear suits and ties because I hate suits and ties. What you see is what you get. So, now if y'all want me to start making stuff up, nah, I'm probably not the guy for you. If you want me to just do stuff that really doesn't have any real meaning to it, I'm probably not the guy for you. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. There is, I'm gonna go find another one of JT's videos, right? I'm gonna find one of JT's videos. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go to JT's page. I'm sure I can probably find it. So there are people. There's a short that JT did that he found that was circulating on social media of a bunch of guys at InvestFest throwing money in the air. My client sent it to me and said, I should do that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I mean, there's more to why he says that, but I will definitely tell you why. Whoa. This is Mr. Lawton. What's up, brother? Thank you for the $9.99. I was looking for you the other day, man. So you remember that short? Let me find it, though. Because a buddy of mine says I should do this. I'm not doing it. But again, it's funny. Because people do these things to draw attention to themselves. Listen, I am from the 80s and 90s. You don't just necessarily walk around trying to get attention just for the sake of getting attention. People don't understand that. I mean, I still think that is true to this day. I was there all day. I mean, all night. I'll try to find this real quick. Let's see if I can find this. And JT finds all the good stuff. Now, listen, I told JT this. I almost went JT's route because there is a very popular social media scammer who was a client of mine who beat me out of some money and didn't pay his invoice. And so I will never talk about them because it leans into ethics. I shouldn't be talking dirty about clients, even though they did me dirty. I can't win that. Let's look at this real quick, y'all. It's hilarious. So y'all see the money's going up in the air, right? Can y'all see it? Let me see. Let me blow it up some more. Now, one of those brothers is actually from my hometown. I know who he is. All right, I should have actually found the, it says Black Robin Hood. So, I mean, you know, some people think like it's cute to throw money like you're at a strip club. I don't. I really don't. If y'all look, I just did a review of one of the videos I was talking to y'all about this in my Black Wealth series. And it was from J.R. Smith. And he was talking about, you know, basketball players can go to the strip club and drop 60 bands, 60,000 in the strip club, but we won't pay for schools. But we not helping to build banks. Like, I really believe this stuff, y'all. It's not for make-believe. It's not a scam. I don't want your money. I don't want none of that. But some people think this is what it's about. Now, here's a question, right? Now, let me stop playing this before I get a copyright strike. YouTube don't be messing around. I done played somebody else's stuff. I get a copyright strike. I ain't got time for none of that. All right. But here's the thing, y'all. Like, we waste a lot of money on a lot of things. But we are attacked by the system all the time. But we complain about the man and being attacked by the system all the time. But we don't use all our resources to better our situation. That seems kind of counterintuitive to me. That seems dumb. Listen, every dollar we get that we are not using to better ourselves, that we're giving away to somebody else, somebody else's community, is a waste of money. Is a waste of power. Every dollar that we have is a bullet, right? It's a bullet that we can use for our defense, for our protection. If we're just giving it away, if we're giving all our bullets away to other communities, are we really serious? But again, I don't know if people are really serious. By their actions, I don't think so. And listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is an observation. Like a lot of times people confuse judging with observations. Like, listen, these are the facts. This is what's going on. The Black community spends $1.6 trillion a year annually But who are we spending it with? We're only spending 2% of it with our black-owned businesses. So are we really serious? And listen, I get there are some inconveniences of finding black-owned businesses for something that you need, want, desire, but you could do a better search. And I'll be totally honest with y'all, a lot of organizations that I work with don't buy black first. A lot of black organizations that I work with do not buy black first. They don't. They're not even thinking about it. A lot of them have an anti-black business mindset. So if you got an anti-black business mindset, how are you really going to win? And this goes for a lot of our churches, a lot of our institutions. When y'all go down, when y'all go to church, when y'all go to your nonprofits that you rock with, your fraternities and sororities, ask them how much money do they spend with black-owned businesses. Ask them, do they try to find black-owned businesses first before they spend their money? Because I get it, you might not be able to spend every dollar with a black-owned business, but that should at least be your mandate to try to go find that first. But a lot of people don't do that. Jay said it's prop money. It might be. I don't want none. I'm cool. Thank you, though. Thank you. I'm cool. I don't need none of that. All right, Jay says, I really want to do a green book for black businesses with a rating system. Oh, that's a great idea. You should do it. I'll help you. I really want to do a green book for black businesses with a rating system. I think I could help with keeping black-owned businesses honest and they serve up to par, and their service up to par. Let me read that one more time. I stumbled over it. I really want to do a green book for black businesses with a rating system. I think I could help with keeping black-owned businesses honest and their service up to par. Now, y'all know Jay making me look stupid up here. Y'all know I read literally what's on the screen. So if he does a typo, I'm going to read it, and then it ain't going to make sense, and then y'all going to think I'm dumb, but that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea, too. There have been a lot of black business directories out there, and some of them have rating systems. I don't know if it's to the same level. I love the historical tie to Green Book. If nobody knows what Green Book is, go watch the movie. There's a whole movie about it. They give you a quick synopsis about it. When black folks were moving around in the South, they couldn't go everywhere. There is such thing as sundown towns, right? The Green Book back in the day would let everybody know where they can go, where they can be safe, where they can get food, where they can get lodging, where they can get gas, where they can go to the bathroom at, right? Because all of these normal things for regular human life oftentimes are frowned upon. Because what I understand is there are still sundown towns. And if y'all don't know, does everybody know what a sundown town is? Put that in the chat. But I hear in Texas there are still some sundown towns. So, right, yeah, so listen, if we don't do a great job of keeping the dollar in our community, we are really, really, really missing the point. So why not? Listen, JT Coins is a business, right? We should be all going to him to get some of our coins and jewelry first. Now, I know he doesn't do everything, right? He might not have everything you want, but why not stop and see him first before you go looking at some other national chain outfit that you know ain't owned by a Raheem or Tyrone or Kamari. Yep, Mississippi. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, don't get caught there after dark if you are dark. Great way of phrasing. Great phrasing. All right, so Jay says the rating system will also award those who are doing good business, not just take from the business, but give back. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if all y'all saw what happened in Atlanta with superstar Keith Lee. I call him Superstar Keith Lee because I feel a lot of people were trying to diminish and besmirch his name by saying he was a TikTok star. That man's more than a TikTok star. He's a whole cultural phenomenon. God bless. Right? So y'all saw what happened in Atlanta. Well, if you didn't, just go look it up. It's hilarious. Sadly hilarious. Atlanta businesses were not up to par and did not provide great businesses, Atlanta black-owned businesses. And I get it. You know, it's hard out there for businesses. But again, you got to try. You know, there's some times that I fail. Just being honest, but I try. And I always try to make up for it and be responsible and be accountable. So, yeah, it's rough. So, I mean, Jay, how serious are you about that? I hope you have acquired the domain names, because you could start really small with that and build it up. I mean, you could start with some Google forms and put it out there and just build it up. You can start really small. You don't need a whole lot of money. You know, a lot of times I feel like when we want to go into business, we want to go to the very top of the mountain from the first pop. Not even thinking about climbing the mountain, going one step at a time. So, you know, Jay, I would love to help you with that. I ain't got no money for you, but I'll help you. Especially since you keep me with these jokes. But yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. All right, so real quick before I get off, is there any content, any questions, any ideas or things that you're looking for understanding, have questions about? Go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'm really interested to hear what you all have to say. Before I hop real quick, I know I got to get my vittles. Let's see here. Let's jump into this. What is that? Oh, it's a two-parter. All right, so Jake says the sad part is in Atlanta, it is normal operating procedures. Folks are just so used to poor customer service. That's sad. Unless it's Chick-fil-A. Listen, Chick-fil-A, everybody should study Chick-fil-A in their business model. For customer service, that is. I mean, they have figured out how to deliver impeccable service. You know what? Here's a story about Chick-fil-A. It happened about a month ago. About a month ago, I'm at Chick-fil-A Friday night, going to get the family dinner. There are no B.O.B.s close to me. That's why I'm there. I forgot my wallet, yo. I forgot my wallet. I'm in a drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, ordered about $20, $35 worth of food for me and the family. I forgot my wallet. Got to check out. And I said, well, can I put this to the side and I'll come right back? Because I was going to go right back and get my food, go home, get my wallet, come right back. About 5 minutes away. 10 minutes total round trip. They was like, no, it's on us. And I ain't telling y'all to go take advantage of those good folks over there. But what is that going to do? It's $30, right? They gave it to me. Do you think I'm going to go back? Well, I was there already. Why wouldn't I go back? So we got to start thinking about, when we think about customer service, we got to start thinking about how we can make the experience better for our clientele. A lot of times people think you're supposed to beat every dollar out of a customer. But sometimes when you leave a little money on the table, it gives you the opportunity to come back and get even more money off the table. All right, Ms. Edie said, if we return to home training, just remember what Big Mama and Madea taught us. Absolutely. It was nice. All right. Serious, is that a tax write-off? Is what a tax write-off? Yeah, leave a service. Leave a service, right? Polishing up my award over here, y'all. I'm actually really proud of this. And I was not expecting it at all. At all. All right. So, no, I'm going back to Ryan. Ryan, elaborate on that. Give me some more, bro. Is what a tax write-off? All right. Self-made SM says interest rate, cost of living, lifestyle creep, fraud case studies. What about them? Oh, man. So I'm trying not to call you the name I call you. I call him Mighty, but it's a grown man. His name is Ahmad, right? And he's right. Relationships are more valuable than money. But here's the thing, right? So Ahmad, from a family, his grandmother's an accountant, right? She's an OG in the game, and I know he's learned about a lot of the stuff in the business too, and he definitely knows that relationships are more than money. But a lot of times we get lost in that. We think $1 for $1, everything. But when you have $1 in a relationship, sometimes that dollar can turn into $1 million real fast. Now, again, I'm not trying to create false hope, false expectations like, oh, if I just go outside with $1 and get a friend, I can make $1 million. Well, you can, but it's not that easy, right? A lot of times you have to build these relationships over years and years and years, right? And you got to treat people good over years and years and years. Oh, I got you, Ryan. So Ryan is asking me, is the money I would have spent for going to Chick-fil-A buying my family a meal, is that a tax write-off? No, it is not. It's not a meal. It's not a tax write-off. Why? Because it was for a personal nature. It was not for a business. And here's the funny thing, right? Here's a gag. I have a client. She has a job and she has a business all the time, right? This is important. Check this out, y'all. So she's got a job and she has a business. Matter of fact, she's got 2 businesses on the side. Her books are horrendous. She never keeps good books, right? So when I asked her, like, what's this $8.35 charge that we down? She was like, that was a business meeting. I said, how was that a business meeting? Who were you there with? I was there by myself. It's not a business meeting. I'll have to go. I pulled the tax law out. Excuse me, y'all. I pulled the tax law out for you earlier. I had to pull the tax law out for you now. It's not a write-off. If you're taking a client out to dinner, if you're taking a potential relationship out to dinner, lunch, breakfast, coffee, whatever, and it's for the purpose of generating more income, that can be potentially a tax deduction. But no, not just going to McDonald's or not just going to Chick-fil-A. That's not a tax write-off. Oh, was it a tax write-off for the restaurant? I would say yes, right? But it's already baked into the cake, right? It's part of their, I'm going to be nerdy up with y'all real quick. It's part of their overall cost of goods and services, right? Because the restaurant, they have costs and goods that they need to run the restaurant, food being one of them. They already paid for it. So it's going to be a write-off. Definitely going to be a write-off. All right, possible later content, I'll talk about it. What's that? What's that self-made SM? I'm here for it. I'm listening. I'm trying to get to 10,000, y'all. Yeah, they gave it to me for free, right? But let's say they brought $1,000 worth of chicken, right? And I got $1 worth of that chicken. That $1,000 is still a write-off, right? So how can I make this simple? Real quick accounting equation, right? Revenue or sales plus or minus expenses equals profit. Again, revenue or sales plus or minus expenses equals profit. And so let's say they sold, just for even math, they sold 1,000 meals for $10,000. They need $1,000 worth of food to then sell those 1,000 meals. Their profit is $9,000. The sales were 10,000, right? The cost, again, just even math, was $1,000. What's left over? $9,000. Right now, again, you can get deep into this, right? What's the cost for the restaurant? What's the cost for the taxes, the real estate taxes they got to pay? Some businesses had to pay what's called UNO taxes, use of occupancy taxes, right? So again, it can get really difficult and convoluted and crazy at a time. So, but yeah, it's right off. But no, they don't get to write off the price of the meal that they would have sold it to me for. So no, that $35 is not a write-off for them. I hope I explained that well. If not, I'll come back. All right, Amaz says you can get paid once with no relationship. Ooh, talking that talk. You can get paid once with no relationship, but you can residually get paid from relationships. That's a fact. Listen, that saying your net worth is your net worth is really real. Really real. Did that make sense, Ryan? I hope it made sense. I mean, it was a good question. Definitely a good question, right? And I mean, those are things that people are always kind of thinking about, but they're not sure about. They don't know how to do it. Listen, taxes are not super duper hard. To do good at taxes, though, you need super duper good discipline. And you need a good foundation. Once you have those things, you can do anything. But you don't necessarily need an LLC or an S Corp, a C Corp, or a trust. Listen, think about it like this. I always say, if you get $50 and go buy a case of water and walk out to the corner and sell those waters, you're in business. You don't need an LLC. You don't need an S Corp. You don't need a trust. You just need the gumption to go get the resources that will be of value to somebody else that you can sell. Period. That's it. It's not that hard, y'all. It's not that hard. Something somebody wants is always for sale. That's it. That's it. Y'all know what people want. Food, clothing, shelter, sex, diversion, right? But those things will always be needed. Some way, some shape or form have always been in existence throughout mankind. So everybody that's trying to be super fancy and say, hey, I hired my wife. I hired my wife from my corporation. And now every time we go to dinner, it's a tax write-off. Bullshit. I need to load that sound up on the little board. Then y'all know that little white boy, that little white kid that's sitting in the car seat, and he be like, bullshit. A lot of people are just giving you bullshit out here, y'all. Because it sounds good. 99.99% of the financial talk out here on social media is all trash. And it doesn't apply to 99.9% of the people. It doesn't. It just doesn't. All of this wealth talk doesn't apply to 99.99% of the people. To really have a wealth strategy, you need a cash flow strategy, meaning you got to figure out how to bring money in. And for all the business credit people, to get funded people, that only works for a little bit of time. At the end of the day, you got to figure out how to get profits. So I buy for $1, sell for $2. If anybody know who Prop Joe is from The Wire, that was his favorite saying. buy for $1, sell for $2. That's it. All right, JC Coin says, what is a good book to read about business and taxes? A good book? Hold on. I think this is a great book about business in general. It's a story. The book is called The Go-Giver. I actually interviewed this guy. Well, one of them is Bob Burger. I interviewed Bob Burger. It's somewhere on the channel. It's a best-selling book. It's very popular. But the name of the book is called The Go-Giver, right? So we're talking about going to give. Because a lot of times people are really only into taking and receiving. The saying is better to give than it is receive is a real thing. It really is. A lot of times, a lot of people miss out on the blessing in that though. So I think that's a good book for business. I got a bunch of them. JC just hit me up. I'm going to get back to doing more of my book reviews too. But that's a good one. And taxes is here's one I got. $475 tax deduction. It's okay. I got it because I saw everybody talking about it on social media. It's okay. It definitely helps to give you a lot of guidance. But here's the thing, taxes, you got to understand the context. Everything is context with taxes. If it's out of context, it doesn't make sense. Like you see people talking about buying the G-Wagons or buying the jet. There's a term that the IRS loves to use called ordinary and necessary. Is it an ordinary and necessary expense? Is it an ordinary expense for your industry? Is it a necessary expense for your business? I mean, again, some people just want to buy stuff just to say they have tax deductions. And that's hustling backwards. But again, JT, when we LinkedIn, just ask me questions. Some of them I might make content out of them. So, but yeah, here's the thing. Spend money on things that will bring you money back. Meaning, don't just use a tax deduction or don't just spend money to get a tax deduction. Spend money on something, invest money on something that's going to help you make more money. That's the key to taxes. The tax code is really about that. Now, the tax code will incentivize other things in the economy and business, right? Real estate. The tax code really favors real estate. Why does it favor real estate? Because there's so many things that happen in real estate. If you build one building, you got to do certain things. You got to pour a foundation. You got to dig out that foundation first, right? You need cement for that foundation. Well, somebody's got to come lay that foundation, right? So you need a cement worker to come lay that foundation. Then you got to frame it all out. You need a carpenter for that. Then you got to do your rough ends, right? You need your plumbing and your electricians to come help rough everything else in. Then you need your carpenters to come back and start installing cabinets and toilets and doors and all kinds of stuff, right? So with real estate, it just kind of feeds the beast, and it's always a need. There's always something going on with real estate. But what is something, let's say let's say a real estate investor should spend money on, right, to get tax deductions? Tools. Well, those tools could be used over and over and over again to do repairs, to do improvements, lots of things. As a matter of fact, a buddy of mine asked me that question today. Could he write off his tools? I said, yes. But you need good books, right? You need good books because you need to be able to track what tools you brought, Some tools may need this fancy smancy word when it comes to tax called depreciation, which just means that, let's say you brought a tool that costs $1,000. You can't write that tool off in the first year that you brought it. You may have to spread it out over various years and write off that tool over years instead of 1 year. But it just depends. Like JT, again, for your business, everything you use to make rings is a write-off, right? If you are spending money to advertise your ring business, that's a write-off. And so, I talked to y'all about multiplier effect, I believe, last week, right? So apply that same logic to your business. What's going to give you most bang for your buck? Well, if you know how to do your marketing and promotion and ads right, if you spend money on ads, you should be able to get a nice size return off that. If you understand how to run the ads and the wording and all of that, you could do that. You can make money. That's a tax deduction. That's a tax deduction that's helping you make money. If you buy a piece of equipment that helps you make more coins or more coin rings or make more core rings faster, that's a great investment for you. Yes, if you buy coins and you're using them, if you buy coins and you're using them in your process to build your rings, design your rings, yes, that is a write-off. It's part of your deliverable. Now, I wouldn't say super chats are advertising, even though that could be a gray area. Admittedly, that could be a gray area. Because the question is going to be, is that for personal or is it for business? Because I shout you out, but I shout you out anyway without the super chats, right? So is that really, are you paying me for advertisement? Because I don't really run any advertisements. So that's why I said that's kind of a gray area. That might be viewed as entertainment. But maybe. So again, I appreciate all my super chats tonight. Glad y'all were here to learn about my award from the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists. Thank you, JT, for the super chat. Thank you, Amon, for the super chat. Thank you. Listen, I could use this. Got a daughter in college. So I need all of that. All right. But listen, I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you. And I'll be back soon with some more good stuff. And of course, every Wednesday I'm here to talk about various money matters so we can get to some of the best money wisdom that's out there on the planet. All right, y'all have a great night and thanks for joining us.